how lucky you are to be able to have an orgasm with a man you despise in real life. What a great situation you're in.
Dear Shandy. Welcome back to Dear Shandy, listeners. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Well, then.
How are you?
You never ask me.
I ask you every other episode.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you make a point of it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You consciously ask me every other recording.
Well, really, it's a pleasantry because we're talking to a million people. So it's not like we're going to tell them exactly how we feel
Also,
every single time.
We have spent all morning together in the apartment. So actually, you're right. It's a little performative to even ask how you are.
Performative.
I think you're right. There's no point in asking.
I'm not going to be fake with you. You're my wife.
Should I stop asking you how you are?
No, you have to ask me how I am.
Why?
But I don't need to ask you how you are.
This doesn't sound fair. So this is our first Q&A of 2025, Andy.
Wow.
Getting back in the groove. Do you want to get going? Do we have any housekeeping?
Let's do it. Let's make it a good one.
I don't think we have any housekeeping, do we?
Oh,
just that in case you didn't tune into the updates episode, throughout 2025, I will be wearing on the podcast pieces from my closet that I am selling on Poshmark, and proceeds will go to the Central Park Conservancy. So actually this sweater I'm wearing right now, it's cashmere. It'll be
cashmere.
Yeah, cashmere. It'll be on my Poshmark, and I'll link it below.
Oh,
Sounds
I like
good?
this. This is a great idea.
Yeah, you love it, especially.
I do.
You're like, oh, space.
Yeah, you get stuff out of the house.
Yeah.
And we give to the park.
Yes. Okay, so this first question is from A, as in the letter. Dear Shandy, thank you so much for your podcast and all the great advice you give. My boyfriend and I, both 27, love your Bachelor recaps and have been especially loving your Q&As recently. I hope you can help answer our Q. Thank you, A. My boyfriend and I have been together for about 8 years now. We met in college, did long distance throughout COVID, and finally moved in together and adopted 2 cats. We are ready to take the next step and get engaged, but the subject of an engagement ring has been a bit of a conundrum. A couple of years ago, my grandmother offered me and my boyfriend her own engagement ring that my grandfather proposed to her with many years ago. She said we could use it whenever we're ready. I'm very close with my grandmother, and she's very fond of my boyfriend. My grandmother has other grandchildren, some of whom have already gotten engaged and married, and she did not offer it to them. Oh, so she's the favorite. I was incredibly touched by this. Her and my grandfather had an amazing marriage, and I hope my boyfriend and I have a marriage as filled with love as theirs. The only thing is, ... the ring just isn't really my style. It's very grand with multiple stones. I often don't wear jewelry at all, and I like to keep it simple when I do. It's a beautiful ring. It's just not something I would ever choose for myself. My boyfriend and I went ring shopping recently, and I tried on a beautiful, simple ring and loved it. I felt so happy when I looked at it. However, I also felt extremely guilty. I want to honor my grandmother and my late grandfather, and I'm so touched she offered us the ring, but I also want a ring that's my style that I think is beautiful. I really don't know how to navigate this, and I don't want to disappoint my grandmother. Part of me feels like it's such an amazing gift full of sentimental value and symbolic of a love-filled marriage. I feel like I would be crazy not to accept it. Another part of me feels like an engagement ring is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and I'm going to be looking at it every day, so I really need to love it. If I end up choosing my own ring, how would I tell my grandmother? If I end up using her ring, how would I learn to love it? Please help us, Shandy, and thank you in advance, A.
I mean, this sounds like a tough one, but I got an easy solution.
Oh, okay.
Maybe too obvious. You take her ring, the grandmother's ring, and you buy your own ring, and you only wear the grandmother's ring when she sees it. No?
I don't know if that's, is that kosher?
Oh, that's kosher.
You think?
See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil.
Oh, man. I don't even know how to feel about that.
Well, I mean, who gets harmed?
No, you've got a point. I just feel like there's something kind of, it's such a beautiful gesture on the grandmother's part, and then you're sort of like lying to her.
Well, you know when you're going to see the grandmother. And you know when you're going to see the grandmother's friends. Well, you got to keep track of the grandmother's nosy friends. Yeah, so it's going to be there's some challenge, but very little. I think you're good. You just wear it when you go out with your friends. You're going out with your friends, you wear the ring you like. And when you're going over your grandmother's or having a family thing, you wear the grandmother's ring. What's the big deal?
Is it not possible for her to just tell her grandmother that her ring is not her style?
Not possible. It's not possible. Can't be done.
I don't know. I think this is a tough one, to be honest.
So you would say to the grandmother, you're going to give me the ring that your late husband, I assume,
Yes.
gave to you to symbolize his everlasting, undying love for you. And you're going to give that to me. You are giving it to me. And I'm going to say, not quite my style.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay. So I actually think I would be answering this differently 10, 15 years ago than I am now. But having gone through the whole ring thing and like, being so obsessive about the perfect ring and now how little I really care about the ring.
Yeah.
Like I often don't even wear, I happen to be wearing it today, but I really don't wear it often. It just isn't a part of, I mean, it's beautiful. I love it. Thank you. But you know what I mean? It's not
symbolic.
It's symbolic. I personally think that like the meaning behind the grandmother's ring holds way more weight than the, beauty of, that's my opinion.
The amount of joy and happiness you're going to give to the grandmother and probably to her husband, because he's probably in favor of this, is going to outweigh any sort of downside of like, oh, but this isn't really my ring. And, my friends, I want to show my friends a better ring. Like, come on, who cares? A ring is stupid. Let's be honest, a ring is stupid. But a ring back then wasn't stupid.
No.
Now it's stupid.
Now it's officially stupid.
They got fake diamonds.
Yeah.
You got Instagram. Everyone's doing this. What is this thing?
Oh no, it's the one where they're like hugging, or they're doing like a hop jump. What's the hooju thing? And like, and the ring is like it's like a shallow depth of field, and they're like
you just see them as a blur in this big ring, and like it looks like they're giving you the finger, but they're actually showing you their ring.
We have all seen variations on that photo.
Yeah, to hell with rings. I say take the grandmother's ring, take it with pride, take it with joy, take it with no confused feelings. Be like, I accept this gift, thank you. Even get on your knees, let her like knight you as you take the ring. Just take the ring.
I mean, the more I talk about this, the more I really feel that way. And I know we might be telling her to like ignore her wants, like she wants a certain kind of ring. But I feel like, for your first anniversary, if you have the means, like you can get another ring that you wear most of the time or some of the time.
Exactly. If you have the means. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying, go get another $15,000 diamond ring to back up this heirloom.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you have the money, get a ring.
And I feel weird saying that because I really, look, for what it's worth, when we went ring shopping, I famously.
Yeah, no, don't put me in this.
I famously cried in the diamond store, in the diamond district. We actually talked about this in our engagement story episode, which
I yelled at you. I said there was no crying in the diamond store.
Yes. You kind of shook me out of it. I feel like we put so much pressure and weight on something so... I don't want to say it's meaningless, but it kind of is.
Yeah. Basically what it is.
It's a material thing that we've been told to put weight on.
I think what it's come down to, it's like a symbol of like sacrifice on the husband's part now. Or the whoever's giving the ring.
Yeah.
It's like a sacrifice. It's like, oh, let's see how much you love me. Drop 2 months of salary on a ring. And that's stupid. You should show how much you love somebody by just being there for them and like loving them in a normal way. Yeah. So I don't believe in rings. We did do the ring, and I'm a slave to tradition in some ways.
You are.
But I will say that this is an obvious choice. Do not make a thing about it. I'm warning you, this is going to become a thing. People are going to talk about you in the family.
No, they're not.
There's going to be someone.
No.
There's going to be someone else. Oh, did you hear?
If anything, they'll be like, did you hear A was given grandma's ring? I wasn't offered grandma's ring.
Oh, that's true. But you want that. That's
I feel
good.
like if she wanted to avoid drama, she could use that. She could be like, I feel weird accepting it when no one else, I don't want to create discord in the family. This is
what I'm going to say. What I'm going to say is this is what you do. You say when she gives it to you, you say, listen, I really feel uncomfortable taking this, but there's other people in the family who probably want it. And you open that conversation. If the grandmother is like, you know what, you're right. You know what? I think you're right. This is going to cause discord. I'm going to keep it.
Yeah.
Then you get an out. That's like a 5% chance.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. It shows humility. It's nice.
She would regret it.
You just take the ring.
I really feel, in 10, 15 years, if they're still married, which I mean, when they're still married.
No, it's an if. It is an if. It's definitely an if.
I said if they're still married.
Yeah, that's if.
No, when you're still married, Pardon me. That I really think the meaning behind your grandmother's ring will really land differently then, personally. Yeah. That this is my opinion after having gone through the ring thing. But obviously, do what feels right to you. So we're not really giving hard advice.
I'm giving hard advice.
We're just giving our opinion.
No, it's not my opinion.
Okay.
This is advice that must be taken. The ring must be taken. You don't turn down gifts like that.
I will see what the Shandys say. I'm really curious.
If someone comes to you, a friend of yours, who's been struggling with some art for their whole life.
Okay.
I don't know, they're a singer or they're a painter or they're something. Their whole life. And finally they get a break.
Yeah.
And they come to you like, oh, tonight's the thing. I finally got my thing. Can you come see it? And you're like, I'm just tired tonight.
No, that's not a good comparison.
It is a good comparison because there are things in life you don't say no to. You just have to do it. You don't say no to your grandmother's ring.
Okay. All right. We'll see what the Shandys say. Because you could argue that if it is so material, what does it matter if she says no to it?
But it's not material at this point.
Yeah, it is. To me, it's a family heirloom. I mean, I think it's a beautiful gesture. Sorry, A, if that's not what you wanted to hear. I feel like A wanted us to give her permission and advice on how to get out of getting her grandmother's ring.
I'm not in that mood, but I could think of something if she wants.
Do you want to?
Okay, hold on a second. I almost thought
it came and it went.
Yeah, that's wrong. I was thinking it was the wrong size, but then she could get it resized.
You could get it reset.
Reset.
But that's kind of...
Yeah, that's not. Then you're changing. You can't change an heirloom. I've got an idea.
What?
I've got an idea.
What?
Very, very easy. As obvious as my first idea. You just tell her you already got a ring. You already got...
Or he already got the ring.
You already got the ring.
She can just be like, I don't know.
You already got the ring. But I think, in the end, this is all energy wasted.
I agree.
You could do such a nice thing for the universe. She's going to make her so happy. And you're going to make other people jealous. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and let's remember, too, that this is a real first world problem. I think she knows this. And there's no losing.
Yeah.
Okay, A, good luck. Sorry if this isn't what you wanted to hear. We're not judging you. And no matter what happens, be sure to keep us updated because I'm curious. Okay, this next question is from Dirty Dreams. Dear Shandy. Well, that was a very, considering.
Well, I feel like this is going to be not what we think.
Dear Shandy. Thank you so much for taking the time to read my question. Dear Shandy was my very first podcast listen, and I'm so thankful to be welcomed into your little world every week, but also for the two of you introducing me to such a lovely medium. Podcasts fuel me during my busy, mundane, and sometimes lonely mom tasks, and without Dear Shandy as an intro, I'm not sure I would have ventured into this world.
Oh.
Thank you, Dirty Dreams. On to my predicament. I am a 37-year-old female. My husband is 44. We are Canadian and have 2 young children. We have been happily married for over 10 years, together over 15. Our relationship is wonderful. He's a devoted father, doting husband, generous lover, and so much more. Recently, in the last 4 months or so, I have been having increasingly spicy dreams about a friend's husband. I wake up sweaty, out of breath, and so confused. Occasionally, I've even had an orgasm. What?
Ooh. Wow.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yeah. Oh, no? It never happened to you, huh?
Wait, has that happened to you? In your dream?
I don't think so, but I've heard it happening to people.
You're like doing...
Yeah, you get so riled up, you have an orgasm. I think it's much easier for women, but I think men have wet dreams. They call them wet dreams. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had one.
Yeah, but are you like masturbating, like in your sleep?
No.
I mean,
no, it's like the mind over body. It's like you believe it's happening so much that your mind's like, okay, well, let's do this.
I mean, I knew you could get kind of like worked up, but I didn't know you could actually...
Yeah, that's the thing. That happens with men and women. I think more women than men, but I don't know.
Okay, we're going to poll the Shandys. You can be anonymous, but I want to know in the comments if this has ever happened to you. Because I want to know how weird I am for never having experienced this.
You're definitely not weird. Because I don't know if I don't think I've experienced it.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I'm feeling kind of jealous right now. Yeah. In the dreams, I am always married to my husband and aware that I am actively cheating. There is flirting and finding excuses to touch. I can feel the anticipation even while I'm asleep. Then we have frenzied and passionate sex. The attraction in my dreams is extraordinary. I want to stress that in real life, I do not find my friend's husband attractive. He gives me the ick. He's like a louder, more obnoxious version of my husband. Admittedly, they are similar in looks and have the exact same interests and hobbies, but the ick is real. Her and I have become very close recently as we navigate our 30s, motherhood, motherhood and the shared connection of raising biracial children. We are both Asian with Caucasian husbands. I do not want to spend less time with her, but I'm finding myself stressed out about triggering more sex dreams. Other details that might be important. My husband and I have an active sex life. We love being intimate and we would do it every day if we could, but as a minimum have sex at least a couple of times a week. Wow, that's pretty impressive for 15 years together.
Good clip, yeah.
She's 37. They've been together over 15 years, so they've been together since she was 21, 22. That's pretty
Yeah, that's a good clip.
A couple times a week.
Yeah.
Nice. Sometimes it's spontaneous and other times we happily schedule it. We keep separate bedrooms during weekdays. We started this postpartum after our first child and it stuck because we enjoy having our own space and our sleep schedules are quite different. Totally condone that.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing. With that, he doesn't know I'm having sexy dreams, although I have woken up so horny that I will wander over to his room at night.
Oh, nice.
My question is, what do I do? Is there a way to curb these dreams? Am I secretly attracted to my friend's husband? Is it normal to be fantasizing about someone that gives you the ick? Is this cheating? I'd love to know your thoughts with thanks and love from an OG panda. Oh, Dirty Dreams. Thank you, Dirty Dreams. That name. That's a good name.
And not a play on words, as I expected.
Yeah, you were expecting it to be like a dream about garbage or something. I know.
Yeah, exactly.
I know
yes,
you.
Yes, nice.
Overthinking.
So, sweet dreams are made of these. These? Wait, sweet dreams are made of these. These?
Is that what it is? Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree?
Well, what is agree rhymes with these?
Is
Can
that
you
the
rhyme
lyric?
These with agree? Sweet dreams are made of thee, or made of thee? That would
I'm
make more
Googling it.
sense.
I have to know.
Sweet dreams are made of thee. Who am I to disagree? I've traveled the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something.
Sweet dreams are made of this.
Oh. You're close.
Whoops.
This and agree. That's a tough rhyme. Not sure how she does that.
Yeah, she pulls it off.
That's a great song.
Great song.
I mean, wow.
So sweet
Annie
dreams.
Lennox.
Sweet dreams are made of having an orgasm in your sleep.
Yeah. Sweet ass dreams.
Yeah.
And take them. Be grateful. What she should be is grateful that she's having this dream because this dream is meaningless. It's with a guy that in real life she has no interest in.
Yes.
Is there some deep-rooted thing where she wants to have sex with a guy she's disgusted by? Who
That's
knows?
a thing. That is a thing.
That's a thing. And that's a thing that's probably not going to be explored in her life.
No.
So let her explore it in her dreams. How lucky you are to be able to have an orgasm with a man you despise in real life. What a great situation you're in.
Yes. I'm kind of jealous. This sounds
It's a
amazing.
dream. Talk about dreams. This is the dream.
She gets to have the hotness of cheating without actually cheating. There's no guilt. What is she supposed to get angry at her subconscious?
Can I? This
Is her husband going to get angry at her subconscious? Give me a break.
You know what I have? I have the worst. She should be lucky. I'm actually jealous. Was what I have is dreams like of an ex-girlfriend where I'm like, oh no, I'm losing her. What's happening? Like what? Like, oh, I'm supposed to be with her. Everything's wrong. And then I wake up and I'm like, thank God I'm with Charlene.
Well,
That's the worst dream.
Well, she's getting the same thing though, where she's like, thank God I'm with my husband.
Yeah, but she gets to have an orgasm.
Yes.
And then I wake up and I'm like, thank God I'm with Charlene.
Well,
That's the worst dream.
Well, she's getting the same thing though, where she's like, thank God I'm with my husband.
Yeah, but she gets to have an orgasm.
Yes. Yeah. You know, do we live in a world that is so straight-laced, so monogamous that you're not even allowed to dream about someone else?
Well, it's like 1984. It's like a brave new world. It's like, don't dream. We'll watch your dreams.
Yeah, we're watching your dreams. We're policing what you dream about, what you're turned on by.
Yeah.
Like,
you could get canceled by talking about a dream you had about something that was not nice.
also, like, it sounds like they have a beautiful marriage. They have sex multiple times a week, even with 2 kids and having been together for so long. Like, do you have to share every little thought that crosses your mind?
The dream, you should be allowed to escape into your dreams.
Yes.
You should be allowed to have sex with anybody you want, even people you like that you're not disgusted by.
I would argue that maybe this is her subconscious being like, I want to have my own separate naughty thing for a little bit. Like, I don't need to always be turned on by my husband and always tell him everything and always do things right.
Yes.
She's not doing anything wrong. She's sleeping.
No, you're getting all the benefits of Severance, which maybe you haven't seen, but
you should see.
It's a good show. It's a great show. You are getting all the benefits with none of the cost. As a matter of fact, I would go as far as saying, if you really want to see how good your marriage is, tell your husband, by the way,
No.
I would do that.
I think we would do that, but I think we're also
We're
below average jealous.
True.
This is what I'm learning, having had a podcast for 4.5 years.
Above average, appreciating the upsides of jealousy.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's a nice way of looking at it, Andy.
Reframe.
I do think we are above average looking at the upsides of jealousy.
Yeah.
I think jealousy can be a tool. It can be something that you harness. It's something that you can kind of enjoy.
It's like spice. It's like when someone puts so much spice on their food and you're like, what's wrong with you? They're like crying, their face is red. You're like, oh, I love it. It's so like invigorating.
Yeah, that's too much spice though.
Too much spice.
In fact, when people like that much spice, I kind of judge them.
Yeah. Well, you just don't like food. If you like that much spice, you don't actually like food. You like pain. Yeah, you're a masochist.
You don't want to taste the food anymore. You just want an experience.
You enjoy pain.
Yeah. But, to each their own.
Yeah.
How did we get onto that? Oh, yeah. I think maybe we would tell each other, but that's not for everyone. And I think that this is kind of something she can just have. I don't think she's going to be having these dreams forever. It's probably a phase she's going through. Just enjoy it while it lasts.
Until there are actual dream police, which there may be one day.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it. Dreams are where you escape. Dreams are where there are no consequences. And you can wake up feeling like, hey, I don't agree with that dream.
Yeah.
That's not me. And I'm happy that I'm in the real world.
Yeah.
Or that was a great dream. I'm really happy I did that in my dream and not in the real world. But now I don't need to do it in the real world.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people will say that dreams have interpretations.
Yes.
Right? And yeah, maybe some do. Meaning.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, honestly, I feel like it's just your brain trying to release the pressure of the day. It's just like letting go, like just doing weird stuff. And there is no interpretation to it.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of jarbled stuff that your brain's just like, get it out. It's like garbage. It's like taking out the garbage and you get to enjoy this movie.
Yeah. Jarbled.
Jarbled. That's a word, isn't it?
Is it?
Or is jarbled a jarbled word
I thought it was
of an actual word?
Garbled.
Garbled. Jarbled.
Yeah, we all knew what you meant, though. I would argue that the times in my life that I've had sex dreams, and it doesn't sound as frequent or consistent as dirty dreams is, but it's almost never with someone that in real life I'm like, ooh, hope to have a sex dream about that person.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's often some rando.
Yes.
Like
someone
I've
where in the
never
morning
met
you're
before.
like scratching your head. Like, what does that mean?
And then they become someone else.
Yeah.
Is
that what happens for you?
It happens all the time.
Like partway through the sex, they become someone else?
No. Like, yeah. I like it just when I'm really like getting there, they'll become someone else.
Oh, in a bad way?
It'll kind of ruin it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that says something about you. I do think there's meaning in that.
There is meaning somewhere, but I really in my dreams, and I rarely have sex dreams anymore. It's sad. Like they've gotten to the point where I don't even remember the last one I had. But when I do have them, I give myself a pep talk in the dream. I'm like, okay, Andy, we've been here before. Like you can get through this. Just focus. And the more I focus, the more it gets messed up.
Yeah.
Like I should just let it happen.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the thing that my dreams are trying to tell me is I should cede control. Just let things happen.
I always wake up before the good stuff.
I have a theory about that.
Oh, really?
My theory is that you aren't just waking up before the good stuff. Something is waking you up, or your body is naturally waking up, and you rush to the end, like in your brain, like in the dream. Like you feel like your alarm's going off, but you don't really hear it. But really, when your alarm goes off, you don't hear it for the first second or two.
Okay.
You hear it after that.
Okay.
'Cause you're completely unconscious. Usually, hopefully.
Yeah.
But I think that the reason sex dreams often get ruined right before the actual sex is because you weren't supposed to be at that point anyway. You rushed yourself to get there because you knew you were about to wake up. That's my theory.
Oh, so you were never actually that close.
No, you've artificially accelerated the dream because you knew that waking up was happening any second.
Oh, and you wanted to get to it.
Right. And you never quite get there because by the time you get there, you're already half awake and your dream just dissolves and it's back to reality.
I do want to learn how to lucid dream. Should we? Oh my God, that's a great idea for a hot topic guest.
Is there a lucid dream expert? Is there someone who claims to be an expert on how to teach lucid dreaming?
If anyone knows of anyone, let us know. Send us an email.
I will say this, my bullshit meter is off the charts when it comes to someone who claims to teach you how to lucid dream. I feel like that's bullshit. You can't teach someone
That
how to
means
lucid
you're just
dream.
that's the Andy that goes to a magic show and is trying to figure out how he did it.
You're right. It's cynical. But I will say, if there was someone or a group of people who could really teach you how to lucid dream, they would be famous. Like you'd be hearing about it. It would be like everyone would be talking about it. Like, did you do your lucid dreaming today? Did you go to that thing? Which app of lucid dreaming do you use? Everyone would be saying, let's do this lucid dream.
But in general, something where in your dream, something happens to you or you do something that you would never do in real life and you're like, you feel guilty about it. Are you really going to ruin something that you just didn't even have control over? You know what I feel like? I feel like we're answering this in the voice of Samantha Jones from Sex and the City. We're like, honey, just enjoy the sex dream.
Oh my God, you're right. That was good imitation.
Her husband also gets to enjoy it because in the middle of the night, she comes into his bed.
Everyone is enjoying this.
Everybody
Even
happy.
your friend who gives you the ick somehow through the universe, through some chemical signal, is enjoying this.
All right. This next question is also from an A, as in the letter. Hi, Charlene and Andy. I've been listening to your podcast since Zach's season of The Bachelor, and you have become one of my go-to channels. You are great examples of what a healthy and happy relationship looks like, and I love your impromptu singing sessions. Thank you, A. That's so sweet.
Yeah, someone who likes our singing.
I'm reaching out because I've noticed a weird dating pattern between me and my friend. 3 different times last year, a guy showed a lot of romantic interest in one of my friends. Most of them would talk to me about her and ask for advice on how to pursue a relationship with her, and made it super clear to me how they felt about her. After she eventually rejected them, they almost immediately started showing interest in me. I've usually let these situations fizzle out or gently turned the guys down because I couldn't help but feel like I was the second choice or even a rebound. But now it's happening again with one of my good guy friends. He's someone I probably would have dated in the past, but now I just feel weird about it. Most of my friends are more outgoing than I am and have a lot more dating experience than I do, and they've started to notice this pattern too. Some of them are frustrated that I keep turning these guys down. They think I'm being unfair for not giving them a chance just because they liked my friend first. I don't have much relationship experience, and now I'm wondering if I'm being too picky. Should I give these guys a chance, or is it okay to wait for someone who chooses me first? For some context, I'm not worried about hurting my friendship if I dated one of these guys because she is one of my friends who's encouraging me to. And I'm not about them dating other people before dating me. It's more about how quickly they seem to switch from her to me that's been bothering me. Thank you for any advice, A. And she's 23, female.
Okay. This is textbook reframe. Like, this is it. If you want to teach someone the word reframe in a spiritual sense,
yes,
this is it.
Yeah.
They're not picking her second. They're picking her because they've
got to know her.
Because they have decided with time that she's actually the right choice.
Yeah, they like her better.
Yes.
Yes. It's not just because they were rejected.
Yeah. You don't go from vanilla ice cream to Rocky Road because you know, Rocky Road is your second choice.
Yeah, it's possible you just went for vanilla because it was the most obvious one. And she said that her friends are more outgoing than she is. And I do think that can happen in a circle of friends where, you know, the more introverted, maybe more like...
Rocky Road is not a good flavor. I'm sorry. That's a terrible flavor.
Is Rocky Road not a good flavor?
Not a good flavor.
You know, this is what I'll say about Rocky Road. And this is why your analogy doesn't work.
I was thinking of an ice cream flavor and I couldn't think of a good one.
No, A is the ooey gooey butter cake at Ample Hills. Yeah. Like, vanilla is very good, but ooey gooey butter cake is spectacular. Not to pit her against her friend.
No.
But I see the point of your analogy. But I agree, Rocky Road is never what I want it to be.
No, Rocky Road, it's too much stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just one wrong thing in there. There's a thing that's wrong. What's the thing that's wrong in Rocky Road?
Pretzels.
Thank you. You don't want pretzels.
I like texture. I like things to chew on. But when it's hard and I can't really get through a bite without that hard, like, it's sort of like jarring.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Glad we talked about that.
I totally agree. Rocky Road, not a good flavor.
It's not bad. It's just it took me years to realize that I was more satisfied by other flavors.
Wait, but hold on a second. I think the analogy breaks down here because what it is they're attracted probably by something very like obvious.
By her friend.
By her friends. So they were attracted. Maybe they were attracted to the Rocky Road. But they're like, oh, it's got all this stuff in it. It's got chocolate. It's got pretzels. What else does Rocky Road have in it?
Marshmallows. That's why you don't like it.
That's the thing I don't like. The pretzels I can live with. Okay. Marshmallows.
I like the marshmallows.
You know what? I'm gonna say right now, I do not like marshmallows. I do not like them in any form.
You like Rice Krispie Squares.
That doesn't count. That's because you've destroyed the marshmallow. The marshmallow is now just is liquefied. Marshmallows in all forms. I do not like s'mores. I do not like marshmallows on their own. I do not like marshmallows in ice cream. I do not like marshmallows in cake. I do not like marshmallows anywhere.
What about a hot chocolate? And so they're kind of like melty.
No, it just makes the hot chocolate less good.
Oh, I cannot agree with you on marshmallows.
Yeah, you love marshmallows.
I love marshmallows.
It may be the place where we disagree the most of anything.
Possible, except goat cheese. Okay. So resume the analogy. I see what you're saying.
So her friend is Rocky Road.
Okay.
But she is
elegant.
She is an
vanilla
ooey-gooey.
bean.
No. She's ooey gooey, but the ooey gooey is inside. You just basically what you're seeing is mostly vanilla.
Okay.
But all the ooey gooey is inside.
Uh-huh.
You got the cookie
dough. It takes
dough.
a little uncovering.
Yes. They go right for the Rocky Road, which is obvious. Like, oh my God, look at all this stuff.
Yeah.
But then
the men, I will say, men tend to go, not for ice cream, but in life with women, they do tend to go for the Rocky Road.
Yeah.
They tend to go for the obvious.
Yes.
Especially outgoing, because let's be honest, women who are very friendly and outgoing, I think it makes men feel comfortable. It makes them feel like maybe it's reciprocated. And when they feel like they have a chance with someone because of how friendly the girl is, they tend to develop a natural interest because of the fact that it seems like they have an in.
Yeah.
That might not actually be based on like how well they know or really like the person.
I think if you want to take it a step further, I think the more down the line you are, the better.
You mean like if you're third, fourth, or fifth
Yeah.
choice?
Yeah, because people are confusing sloppy seconds with this situation. I'm assuming they are.
Yeah, but it's not even. It's
She
not
is
even
confusing.
sloppy seconds.
It's not.
Yeah.
Sloppy seconds is just sex.
Oh yeah,
That's
but also
sex.
like it requires actually getting together. It sounds like the friend.
Yeah.
It's like it never even began.
It never even happened.
So I guess what we're saying, is we agree with your friends. Look, is that the fantasy? Of course. We all want to just feel like immediately seen across a crowded room.
That's a fantasy of an impatient person. The fantasy should be what she's experiencing, which is after surmising the lay of the land.
Yeah.
You are attracted to the nuance and subtlety of this individual.
Yeah. It doesn't.
You know what I think? I think this question is bordering on humble bragging. She's saying like after they've done all their research, they come to me.
No, I don't think she sees it like that, because I think if she had, I think what's missing for A is confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Confidence.
Yeah.
Because if she were truly confident in herself, she would know that a guy showing interest in her after having interest in one of her friends doesn't make her second choice. It means she has something to offer.
Yeah.
And just enjoying that for what it is. It's like she's making a point of looking at this through the worst lens possible.
Yes.
And the fact that she said she would have dated this friend before, but now she's like, oh, I don't think so.
Oh.
It's like, focus more on whether or not you like the guy and not how far down his list you are.
Or what journey he took to get to you.
Yes.
Who cares? He got to you.
Yes.
What does it matter?
Do you like him? That's the only thing you should be thinking about, is how you feel about him.
Yeah.
Not about how much he liked you. I'm sorry that this is a trap that so many women fall into.
I got to say, this is something that you might need to explore a little more about yourself.
Yes.
This might be a thing that bleeds into other parts of your life.
Yeah.
Like, why does it matter? Why does it matter? Think about it.
You're right. She could look at this through the negative lens. Oh, I'm second choice. Oh, he didn't want me. He just liked my flashier friend. Or it's like, that's right, bitch.
Yeah.
You got to know me.
After all these doors were presented to you,
Yeah.
you chose door number one.
Yes.
Me.
She's assuming that they're interested in her only because the friend rejected them, but that might not be the case.
And also, maybe the friend rejected them because they weren't right for each other.
Yes.
Who cares?
Yes.
And you realize that's ridiculous. Because then you could say anyone you've ever dated has been rejected by someone else and thus went to you.
Oh, that's
as
true.
a second choice.
In life in general.
Yeah. I've been rejected. I've been dumped by people. Does that mean that you're my second choice?
Yes. Good, Andy.
You're my
Good.
third choice. You're my fourth choice.
Oh, I mean, I'm way down
You're like
the
my
line.
10th choice.
Yeah, you're way down my list too.
Wait, yeah, wait.
Okay, I think we've answered this. It's time to reframe, inject a little confidence into how you see men seeing you. I think, you obviously have it going on, so maybe own that more.
Yeah.
And maybe if you own, I don't want to say that this is the goal, but maybe if she owned that more from the get-go, she might be a little more Rocky Roady from the get-go. You know, like confidence is...
She might exude rocky road,
Yes.
but actually be ooey gooey
buttercake.
buttercake.
All I'm saying is that the confidence, is often what people are attracted to.
The feeling she should have when one of these guys comes to her after her friend, if this ever happens again or anything like it, should be, what took you so long?
You bitch.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Okay, A. Good luck, although you do need it because this is self-work.
Yeah, self-work. But
This is hard. Self-work is hard. The self-love, the confidence, the reframing, all the stuff we're talking about. You're 23. You are ahead.
23.
Yeah, I know. She's ahead of the game.
She hasn't even been born yet.
Yeah. You don't even understand how true what we're telling you is right now. We hope you appreciate this advice.
Yes.
It could take you another decade to learn this.
This advice is hard won.
Seriously. It took us too long to learn this advice.
Too long.
Yes.
So many mistakes.
Yes.
So much self-flagellation.
Right? For what?
For what? For this. I guess it all works.
All right. This next question is from Confused Artist. Dear Shandy, I, 28 female, am a muralist, and my friend, also late 20s female, is a muralist in my city. Recently, an old family friend...
Do you think there's like a muralist feud going on between them? There has to be.
Well...
Oh.
You know what's funny is I see murals and I'm always amazed by them, impressed by them, like I admire them, but I never really think about who made them.
Oh, I met that guy in Wexford, Ireland, who was at my boxing gym.
Yes.
The boxing trainer. He did every mural in the whole town.
Yes.
And almost every signage on every store, on every
was
pub.
amazing.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so mild-mannered and so humble.
Yeah.
Irish people.
Well, listen to this question. I feel like there's like to be an artist but a muralist, there's something...
A muralist.
A muralist.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a first. We've never gotten a question from a muralist before.
I will say this about muralists.
What?
Unlike most other artists who work sort of in isolation.
Yeah.
And then maybe they get, to show their work to people.
Yeah.
Muralists lead with showing it to people. It's an interesting form of art.
Recently, an old family friend discovered that I'm proficient at painting realistic statues and asked me to take one of his projects for him. A Greek restaurant wanted a recreation of a 4x4 sculpture of Zeus with graffiti motifs in the background. The clients pay well, and I've needed a larger project for the last couple months, so this could help me out a lot if I end up doing consistent work for them. They have space for a large mural after the painting as well. The problem is that my friend has Greek heritage and has painted this exact reference of the image that they want me to recreate. Granted, what?
I said, uh-oh.
Granted, she doesn't have a monopoly over Greek symbolism, but it only feels natural that someone with Greek ancestry should paint a Greek-related painting for a Greek restaurant. I was actually going to collaborate with her on a wall last month to see how well we worked together, but she stood me up twice after very little communication on both ends and didn't apologize until after I was honest with her about how it affected my schedule and that I would really appreciate a heads up before the day we are supposed to work together if she's too busy to come, especially given that a mural is a full day of work, not something as fleeting as a coffee or a phone call. 3 days later, she gave me a hasty, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know it was that serious." I concluded that she may not be the most reliable artist to do murals with. My issue is that the style of painting I am doing is her exact style. If people didn't see my tag, they would immediately think that it was her. She specializes in paintings of Greek statues and is actually way more involved in projects in our city than I am. I've made it a point to come up to her and say hi whenever we are at the same festivals, but since the incident, she seems to not want to chat with me. We were at the same event last night and she was ignoring eye contact with me and left before I could come around to greet her. There were like 70 artists there, so maybe she was just overwhelmed as well and didn't get to it either. This still saddens me though, because we were actually quite close at some of the other festivals we have painted at and would chat extensively. If I market or document this large painting on socials or my website, I risk upsetting her and potentially members of the art community who are close with her, especially because I have no Greek background and this project has her name all over it. But I just don't feel comfortable asking her to help on it, both financially and socially. I don't know what to do. Should I lay low and just go through with the project, or find a way to include her in a different way that has less effect, such as a consultation? Thanks for your insight, confused artist.
Oh, this is tough.
Oh, you find it tough.
It's tough. Well, I was leaning 100% one direction, and then something you said or she said pulled me back a little bit.
Okay. Tell me the direction you were leaning. I have a very strong opinion
I was
about
leaning
this.
100% just go do the mural. Forget about this nonsense.
Yeah.
You made efforts in the past.
It's her connection.
It's not your job. This is your life. This is your career.
And it's her connection that got her.
her connection.
Yeah. Was she supposed to
You know what
handle-
the problem with this muralist is?
What?
What's her name? Confused artist?
Yeah.
She's too nice.
Too nice, and also I think doesn't have enough confidence in her ability to do this mural well.
Yeah.
That's to me, I'm reading between the lines.
I get the feeling you're right. I get the feeling like she's like, well, I'm going to do this, and it's going to be slightly less good than this Greek specialist.
Yes.
So everyone's going to be like, oh, well, you
specialist.
should have given it to the Greek one.
Yes.
The only thing that she said that pulled me back from 100% was about how somehow in the community, this was going to be looked upon poorly, which I don't know if I believe. I'm not, you know what? I don't believe she's a good narrator. I don't trust her. She's confused. She said she's a confused artist.
Yeah.
Confused alone is bad. Confused artist, I don't trust anything.
It's a disaster.
Forget about it. So I'm going to say, do the project. Forget about all this stuff. Throw yourself into this. Just do it. This is yours.
Yeah. You know, what gets me is if they were really close friends, which it sounds like in the past they've, I get the impression the friend is a big deal.
Maybe, yeah. I can feel that too.
You know, the way she seems afraid to step on her toes. She's kind of like angling to greet her at festivals, and she's worried what other people will say. There's something about the way the friend treats confused artists that feels kind of like dismissive.
She's lower than her.
Yeah, it feels dismissive. And I don't like that. I don't like that the friend has never been like, hey, I've gotten this gig that actually I think you'd be better suited to, or I think, maybe you could come on and help me with, or I'm looking for someone. Like, I don't see a world in which she owes this friend this opportunity.
I also don't get the feeling she's at a stage in her career where she could just give away gigs.
No.
For maybe some future benefit.
Yeah.
Like if she's like, working to the point where she doesn't even know what to do with the money.
Yeah.
Then yeah, sure. Be like, hey, you take this. It's better for you. I'm going to go take a vacation.
What I do love a better question is she very vividly describes I think the underbelly of being an artist in a city where like there are a lot of artists.
City.
You can see that there's politics, know, and there's ego and there's reputations and there's like, oh, that's her thing. I don't want to do her thing. And there's a little bit of that in singing. So I'm going to do my best to relate to this. But there was a time I got a gig that I felt a friend of mine could probably sing better than me. But I got the gig. I got the gig singing Baroque music because it was a connection I'd made somewhere else. The director hired me to come sing this other thing, and like I can sing Baroque music well too. I may not be a specialist like my friend is, but I sing it pretty damn well. If I'm honest, am I supposed to just not do any Greek sculpture art because I'm not Greek? In this case, another angle I could look at this is one of my dream roles is Madame Mao in Nixon in China, which is an opera by John Adams. Am I owed that because of my Chinese ancestry? No, I'm not, to be honest. Like, there are many, many singers who have sung this role who are not remotely Chinese. In fact, a lot of them are like Asian and not Chinese. There's so many ways you can slice and dice this, but I don't think that this person is owed this just because she is Greek.
There is, if every single person who was a great artist was the best artist because they were just if everything was a meritocracy in art, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
When you look at Hollywood, do you think even half of the people who are at the Academy Awards up there presenting or getting awards, do you think half of them were the best of class? No. It was either nepism or they were aggressive.
They were famous
already. They had famous
best example
parents.
for me
they
is
were greedy.
Yeah.
They were like
ambitious.
Ruthless, cutthroat.
Yes.
Or maybe they just worked their asses off to the point of absurdity.
Yeah, or just better connected.
Yeah, better
oftentimes.
connected, better friends, better looking.
Yeah.
All these reasons.
Totally.
Like, who cares? Just be you. It's so hard to make it as an artist.
Yes.
It's so hard. What are you doing? Paint the mural.
Yes. Take the opportunity. It was offered to you through a connection that you had. It is yours. Just do it and do the best you can with it, and you will grow from it. Maybe you'll learn that this actually is your style, or maybe you'll bring something to the mural that your friend never could have. That's the whole thing about being an artist and being creative, is not necessarily replicating something, but making it your own. You know, when she says people wouldn't know that it was me, they would assume it's my friend if they saw the little like signature in the bottom. It's like, then make it your own. That's what being one of the things that being an artist is. Obviously there's a lot of technical skill, but it's like, what do you bring to it that's different? And that's where I feel she's lacking confidence. And I feel like this so-called friend there's something. It doesn't feel like they're on the same playing field. It's like she looks up to this person and doesn't want to upset her. You could easily give this to that friend. She could go, get that check, paint that mural, and you could wish that it will be quid pro quo and one day she'll return the favor. But honestly, it's way more likely that that will never happen.
Yeah.
The cruel reality of being an artist is that you have to be aggressive. You do.
And luck is a huge part of it.
Massive.
And you can't just look luck in the face and be like, no, I'm not taking luck. I'll take the next luck. You know, Al Pacino, one of the great actors of our time, when Francis Ford Coppola decided to cast Al Pacino as Michael Corleone in The Godfather, everyone, the production, everyone was like, what are you doing? We've got this, we got Robert Redford, we got this guy. There was all these other guys. I don't think Robert Redford was one of them, but there was a lot of guys.
Okay.
And Al Pacino was barely known. He did one good movie. It was kind of weird. It wasn't anything like The Godfather. And Francis Ford Coppola was like, I want Al Pacino. I'm doing Al Pacino. I was like, no, Al Pacino. Don't do it. And then Al Pacino, as Michael Corleone, became one of the greatest, the quintessential great character of 70s directors' movies.
Yeah.
And why? Because he got lucky as hell.
Yeah.
Was one director was like, I'm choosing this guy against everybody else's advice.
You also
and it's not like he was like, wait a second, hold on a second, Francis. I know that a lot of people want these other guys to do this, and they're very good actors. I'm an unknown. These guys deserve it more.
Yeah.
You should really take them.
True.
And now Al Pacino's works in a gas station.
Also, you have to
Not that working in a gas station is bad.
Well, you also have to be good to get lucky. Yes. There's so many sayings about luck. I can't remember any of them right now.
Well, it's not like she got this mural job because she's crappy at making murals.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She got a break because she's good at what she does. And she had the connection. She was in the right place at the right time, which is where the luck is. So pounce on this opportunity, because that is part, unfortunately, of being in the art world. You have to pounce when opportunity knocks.
And any time in your singing career I've seen you get a little bit of a break, it's like lightning, because in this career, it's so rare. Everything you have to like claw and scrape for. Like when you get a break, the thought of you, if you ever got a break and said, oh, a friend of mine does this better, I think I should, I would lose it.
I mean, I've come close a couple of times, and the reason why was a lack of confidence. If I started looking at the music and I was like, okay, yeah, like I sing this fine, but I have a friend who would really sing this better. You know, my friend specializes in Baroque music. Like I feel a bit like a fraud. But you know what? I ended up singing it well. And that's because I had to work on it, study it, basically put on that hat for a while. And I think confused artists, that's what you need to do. You have to put on your Greek sculpture hat and your graffiti background hat and do the best you can do and not doubt yourself. And you never know that's the thing about art, is like one gig, one opportunity often leads to another. Someone might go dine at that Greek restaurant and be opening their own restaurant and see your mural and be like, oh, I love this style.
Yes.
Who painted this? Let me get their contact. Instead, you're going to give that away? For what? For someone who doesn't even seem to respect you?
You know what? If she has friends who would like her to do that, those aren't good friends. She shouldn't be hanging out with those people.
I agree.
If a friend of mine who I saw get a huge, let's say we were both, I don't know, whatever, podcasters.
Okay.
And I saw a friend of mine get some huge break in podcasting. And he said, Andy, this is more your thing. You should take it. I wouldn't take it. I'd feel, first of all, immense guilt, immense lack of deserving. And I'd feel like, what are you talking about? You're my friend. I want you to do well.
Yeah. Well,
Bad friend would take that mural job. You know what she would do if she was a good friend or if she was even a friend?
Yeah.
She would say, no, this is your thing. Go get it, girl. She would say it just like that.
yeah. I mean, I'm torn on that one because I think that it is dog eat dog in the art world, and I'm sure that the friend would just take it.
Yeah, but again, if you're swimming in it, if you are swimming in work, you don't even know what to do. You're batting work away like flies.
Which is never happening. I'm sorry.
Ooh,
Holy shit.
Jesus. Wow.
That's an interesting point. Like if this person is actually a friend, like I keep doing kind of like friend in air quotes, like this so-called friend. But you're right. If it were an actual friend who was as invested in a confused artist's career as confused artist was in the friends, she'd be like, take this opportunity. Let me support you. Let me this is a big break for you or something like that. I don't know. I see your point. Okay. Well, I mean, we've made our thoughts known. I just can't, you know what this is? This is a beg for forgiveness rather than ask for permission situation.
And there's not going to be any begging for forgiveness. No one, she's going to paint this mural and it's going to be fine.
Oh, you think so?
I'm not worried about this.
You think that no one's
I'm not in the mural community myself.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that this is going to be okay. She's going to survive this mural in this Greek restaurant.
If this is an issue in the community, I feel bad for her that this is the kind of community that she's in. Like,
get
this
out of
is
the
horrible.
community.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Yeah. Do something else.
Like, as if anyone could judge her for that. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, what is it? Like, it's like East Coast, West Coast rap?
Oh my God.
Because murals. Everyone should be loving on each other.
Yes.
It's beautiful. People are giving beauty to the world.
Yes.
Let me tell you, if you're in the mural community, you make a good mural.
Yeah, I would
It
think.
may be a little less good than someone else's mural, but everyone in that community, if you say I'm in the community, unless you're a lunatic, you know how to make a mural.
Yes.
So let everyone make their own murals.
Yes. And I don't think anyone has like dibs on a certain genre of mural.
No.
Good luck, confused artist. I do think you need it. I, believe it or not, know what you're going through to a degree, but I think that if you have more confidence in your actual abilities, that will go a very long way. Confidence is becoming a theme in this. If she felt deep down in her soul that she could nail that mural, she wouldn't be asking this question.
I think it all comes full circle again to social media. It's like everyone's putting forward on social media this foot that is not their real foot.
This foot.
It's a bejeweled foot. It is not the foot that they actually own. And as a result, everyone feels that they have to lift themselves up to an unattainable level.
I feel that. I sometimes feel like, oh, I like my outfit. Maybe I should take a photo. And then I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, someone else has a better outfit on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, there's no point. Like, who cares about my outfit? It's not as good as other people's outfits.
What it does is it creates a gun-shy mentality in society where people are like, well, I could do that, but I wouldn't match up to the Joneses.
Yes.
The Joneses now, the Joneses used to be just, it's like a rumor in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But now it's everywhere. It's right in front of your face.
Yeah.
You see the Joneses, but it's not the Joneses. It's the Joneses 2.0. It's not even what they really are.
Totally.
And now you're trying to attain that goal all the time. How could you not be insecure? How could you not be gun shy about every decision you make?
I bet you anything, the so-called friend in this situation has a lot of Instagram followers and posts murals of her art of this genre. When I try to place what feels like a sort of social inequality here, where like she's more starry-eyed for the friend, I bet you anything the friend has like a lot of Instagram followers.
Yes.
There's something here that she's not mentioning that to me colors the question. Maybe I'm projecting, but it's how I feel.
And can I just say something else? This is very petty, but I felt it, so I'm going to say it. This friend of hers was not nice.
No,
was not helpful, was disrespectful. What better way to get revenge than to do a mural of what she does?
Perfect way to end, Andy. All right. Good luck, confused artist. Be a little more confident. Work on that. All right. This next question is from Kiki.
Kiki?
Kiki.
Oh, Kiki.
Kiki.
Kiki. That sounds like a name.
Kiki.
I like that name.
Me too. That's why I keep saying it. Kiki.
Kiki. Kiki.
Dear Shandy,
Can you think of a Kiki?
I can only think of Keke Palmer, who I met.
Who's Keke Palmer?
Isn't she an actress? She's like a personality. Keke Palmer. Remember when I did Good Morning America?
Oh yeah, she's one of the people.
She was like, she wasn't one of the hosts, but she was like,
she's a personality.
Substituting.
Isn't that funny? A personality.
She's a personality. She is a personality.
Yeah.
Dear Shandy, I'm hoping you can help me with a familial predicament I've found myself in. I'm a 40-year-old female from a large Hispanic family who used to be based in South Florida but has since been scattered to the four winds. I mostly use Instagram to stay in touch with the younger generation and text monthly-ish on special occasions with the older generation. My dad's sister, 60-year-old female, recently quit Facebook and, unprovoked, has hand-selected me in a massive group text, a very curated group of 30 plus people, mostly strangers to me, that she is using in lieu of social media. She sends life updates, song lyrics, funny things she's heard, coupons, prayers, the location of cheap gas in a town none of us live in, pictures, so many pictures. The dog, the cat, food, every single picture of a trip or party, a flower, a funny billboard. It gets better. After every post, other members of this group chime in with stickers, emojis, and comments like, so blessed, yum, good times, and ha ha ha.
Oh, God.
Mostly I ignore all the texts, but there are times when I pick up my phone and there are upwards of 50 notifications. I'll admit I'm an anxious person and my knee-jerk reaction is to assume someone in the family is in the hospital or dead, only to open my messenger and see it's just a very long joke followed by every variation of the crying, laughing emoji. I hate this. The only way to leave would be to delete the group and block them, which would then block my dad and a couple of other individuals I actually know and communicate with. Trust me, I've done my research. Shandy, I love my family, but this is a special kind of hell. I'd like to ask my aunt to remove me from this group text, but our family's politics are delicate, and my aunt takes things very personally. She has fully stopped speaking with my sister and other family members for perceived slights, and her retaliation is messy. She once called my dad and tattled on me when I couldn't get her a job in my office. I'm worried that no matter how nicely I go about it, she'll take me asking to be removed as thinking I'm too good to pay attention to her side of the family and then go about her Machiavellian nonsense, dragging my dad in and slandering me to the rest of the family with all the little observances she's saved up over the years. To make matters worse, her son is getting married next summer and I'll finally be able to hug some of my family for the first time in a decade. I'm worried that leaving the group text will create unnecessary drama. There's always drama. Should I put on my big girl pants and ask to be removed from the texts or just suck it up and continue to ignore them? Should I wait until after the wedding and then blow everything up? Maybe leave a trail of cheese and trap her in a box until she creates a social media account like a normal person? She sounds like an absolute harridan, but really she's a very loving and generous person. As a family can be very sensitive, particularly when it comes to intra-family relationships and can be hurt deeply. When my aunt hurts, she lashes out. Unfortunately, she's not unique among us, and the more rational ones just try to stay out of the muck and let the feistier ones battle amongst themselves. That's very true. Mm-hmm. I love the podcast and would appreciate your thoughts. Trapped in group text hell, Kiki. I mean, I have strong thoughts on this.
Unsubscribe.
Oh, you think?
Unsubscribe.
You think? Like, so you think she should say something?
No, just unsubscribe.
Well,
not
she
to
can't
say anything.
Well, she's saying that she can't really without asking. Can't you just leave?
You can just unsubscribe. Leave the chat.
Yeah, but then it says Kiki has left the chat.
Oh, well, then we'll wait for the response. See what happens. See if her aunt says something. And then you say like, oh, whoops, I must have hit the wrong button.
I think she should just ignore. By the way, I hate group texts.
Who doesn't? Who are these people who don't hate group texts?
There was an entire Curb Your Enthusiasm episode about this. Every time someone sends a crying, laughing emoji, I'm like,
yeah.
Are you really laughing?
If it's 2 people, fine. If it's 3 people, usually fine. 4 people, I'll even live with sometimes if they're respectful.
4 is my max.
But 30?
Yeah.
30 people?
She doesn't know who a lot of them are.
Doesn't know who, why?
Yeah.
Why? This should be illegal.
You know what I think her aunt, well, the kind of person her aunt is? Like when I think about, there's one particular group text that I'm in that is enormous and just like, I don't even click on it anymore. I literally don't click on it.
I do it I actually don't engage as a protest, as a form of protest.
Well, if you want to,
I want to show them. I'm saying like, I am not going to respond to anything unless someone dies. You're not going to hear from me.
Well, and the way I see it is, if someone in this group text knows me and wants to get in touch with me, and my name and number being in that list, if they're looking, like, then they can write me directly. But as far as I'm concerned, there is nothing I can contribute to this that feels authentic. And to get back to my point, I think the kind of people that engage really actively in those, like her aunt, there's something
Yes. You can stop right there. Just self.
Yeah, there's something.
Ish.
Yeah, self-aggrandizing. It's like
self-absorbed.
It's
like people
self-absorbed.
care so. It really is a personality flaw to think that people care so much about
you,
all
what you're
the
eating,
stupid things in your life.
Yeah, what you're laughing at, what you saw, how much
what?
The gas is where you live.
I'm not going to call it narcissism, but I will call it extreme self-absorption, solipsistic behavior. You're thinking, oh, I'm eating a sandwich. Everyone must love this sandwich.
Yeah.
Or I'm listening to a song. It's like those people who drive through the street with literally, like you're having a conversation and the car comes by and you have to stop your conversation for literally a full 30 seconds while the car drives by because they think everyone in the world loves the song they're playing.
Yeah, or
they're not doing it to annoy you. That's not why they're doing it. I've thought about this. I have thought about this for years, decades. I've come to the conclusion they are not doing it to annoy you. I used to think they're like, I hate everybody. I want everyone to suffer today because I'm going to play this horrible Pitbull song and everyone's going to hear it.
Yeah, that's you projecting because of how you
receive it. By the way, Pitbull
it.
is a high level. Usually it's way worse. But my point is they are doing it because they're like, everyone loves this song because I love this song because I am just an extension of the world and everyone agrees with me.
No, I don't think it's even that. I think that they want attention. They want attention. They don't know how to get it. It probably comes from low confidence or feeling like they have to like shout really loud to be heard and seen. And they need to shout, look at the billboard I saw. Look at this. I'm so important. Everything I do is worth listening to and seeing and observing.
Oh, there's definitely some of that.
Yeah, well, I think that's what it is.
But I think it stems from this, they've convinced themselves that the reason they're going to get attention is because look at this awesome song I'm playing so loud. Who wouldn't want to listen to this? And if you don't, you're crazy.
Yeah, I think that's giving them a lot of credit to be like,
I've thought about this for decades. You're refuting my entire thesis.
I just mean like the kind of person that does that, I don't think is spending much time thinking about what the people around them want to listen to.
That was Dove's theory. I had this argument with Dove.
Oh, really?
He took the other side. He said, you're thinking too much.
What did he think?
These people are not thinking at all. Like they're literally thinking like an animal. They're like, loud music, good. I don't care about anybody.
I think that they like attention. They like it.
There's no question they like attention.
Yeah, but I think it could be as simple as that. I think Kiki's aunt likes attention. She clearly has a lot of time on her hands. She has got time to be like, hey, check out these gas prices. Isn't this interesting to all you people who don't live where I live?
So we're all right. It's all of the
It's all of the above.
It's that she thinks everything she likes, everyone else likes. She has no self-awareness.
Yeah.
None. That's an important one, by the way. People who play the loud music, no self-awareness. That's a given. That's a baseline.
The no self-awareness is the bottom line.
Zero. You started that. That's a canvas. You start at no self-awareness and then you paint self-absorption. Yeah. Like I'm eating this, everyone's going to like it. I listen to this, everyone's going to like it.
Yeah.
And then it's also disregard for other people's time. It's selfishness. It's not just self-absorption, it's selfishness. But you're like, I know when I send this message, I'm forcing a whole community of people to respond with stupid emojis.
And I guess they're also forcing, isn't it some sort of what is it, serotonin, or you get some sort of like dopamine when your phone lights up, when you get a text, when you get an email.
But then she's turning it into fear.
Well, yeah, but she is forcing other people to give her that dopamine rush.
Yeah, she's getting the dopamine, but she's giving other people a fight or flight. She's giving them an adrenaline rush, which is the worst. Okay. It's anxiety. She's creating anxiety to give herself the dopamine fix that she thinks she needs, but she doesn't.
Yes, well, because she's lacking it elsewhere in her life. Okay, we've really psychoanalyzed the aunt. Kiki, what is our advice for Kiki? I think
punish her. Punish her. Say, I want out. I don't care what you do. I am out. I love you. You're my aunt. And that's the way it's going to stay. You're out of my chat.
That's the advice I want to give, especially since it sounds like the aunt has already blacklisted Kiki's sister.
Yeah, good. Get blacklisted. She said she's with the four winds. She's gone. She's out. The family is not right in her face. It's a distant thing.
So as much as I want to give that advice, though, if this is a do as I do and not say as I say, wait.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. I could do the do as I
say. Practicing what you preach? Or
do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
What I would do, Kiki, is pretty much what you're doing, which is like to not even open it anymore. Like I don't even look.
Yeah,
I don't even look.
Said, what
you
if
think
someone's sick?
50 notifications is a lot? I've gotten 500.
Yeah, no, Charlene's amazing. And a lot of them are from me. Just me, no group. Just me not responding for 2 days.
No, I just don't even open it because there's nothing for me there. There is nothing for me there if anyone needs
just
to reach me.
Silence it. You can silence it too.
They can text me.
You don't hear it. You don't hear the buzz. You don't get the ding. It just suddenly, you look at that group chat and you see all the messages, but you don't have to hear it. You don't have to feel it.
You know what bothers me about this is there should be an option. It's sort of like, oh, do you want to be tagged in this photo on Facebook? It's like, oh, do you want to be added to this group chat?
Yeah.
And you should be allowed to...
Stealth mode.
Yes.
You should just be allowed to disappear on your own, but no one sees you disappear.
Yes, they should work on that.
That happens with all
How
other
is it
things.
that we have AI, but you can't do that? You can just be added to a group chat against your will.
It's a felony.
Yes.
It should be a felony to do that.
Yes. It's a crime.
You should be given, they should have to get permission from every person. Although then that puts the pressure on you too. That's awkward. You say, no, thanks. Not interested.
Okay. So your advice is put on the big girl pants and ask her to be removed. She can remove herself, I think.
This is the problem. As you said, you touched on an important thing. Would I do this? Mm-hmm. Sadly, I would not. I don't have the balls.
No.
Or the cojones in this situation.
But in this case, it's not worth it. That's the thing. It's not worth it. This aunt is a personality type where she's going to make her life worse, more complicated, all the things. She has all the evidence to show that it's simply not worth it. So just don't open the group text.
Yeah. I mean, basically what you're doing is you're creating a mute option for the guy driving by in his car with the horrible music playing loud.
Yes.
And you just, you have a button. You're like, oh, here comes that car. I can hear it in the distance. You hear like, ding. Silence.
And then it's like those noise canceling headphones, which like, I don't even know what's going on with those. It's like a sound, but also not a sound.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's
it's just like white noise. Yeah, but you get used to it. You don't hear it after a while.
It's so crazy.
It's amazing. Your brain can't process, like white noise is really, that's like the rock, paper, scissors. It beats all of them.
Yeah.
But this is a very annoying thing. Mm-hmm. And I know this, maybe people think I'm joking around, but I'm not. Group texts are an infraction of the social fabric. I do not like them. I do not think they should exist. Mm-hmm. And I think you should be very socially able to extract yourself without any repercussion.
I think the reason we're so heated is because, like you said, we don't have the cojones to do it.
I don't have the cojones. I have never dropped out of a group text except when literally I know nobody and someone accidentally added me because they have 2 Andys in their phone.
Yeah.
Then I just drop out because I'm like, no one cares about me.
Yeah.
But I can't do it. So I'm preaching something I don't practice.
Yeah.
But I want to practice it. I want to become the person who says, excuse me, I would like to be removed.
You know what this is? This is a careless situation.
Yeah, I would just mute it.
See the humor in it because it's funny. If you haven't seen the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode, you should because it is very funny. And actually, whenever I think of the group text that I'm in that I despise, I always think of that episode and laugh to myself about the whole situation. Yeah. And it makes the whole thing less bad.
And also, since there's 30 people in the group, you can rest assured that no one's relying on your response.
No, it sounds like she's not contributing.
There's plenty of people to carry the load.
Yes.
No one's been like, where is Kiki? Where's Kiki? We had 29 responses. Where's Kiki?
Yeah.
No one cares.
I didn't see Kiki laugh, cry.
And you know what? No one probably notices. Except maybe the aunt. She notices. God, that aunt. I got to say, I don't care how loving she is. Mm. She sucks.
I love how she the email was really long, and then towards the end, she's like, but she's really caring and loving.
Oh, yeah. That was the old shit sandwich. That was like a quadruple decker shit sandwich.
Yeah. Okay, Kiki, good luck. You're definitely going to... Actually, you know what? You don't need it because I think this is... You just be passive. You just take your hand off the wheel and be bothered less, care less. That's honestly one of my, speaking of resolutions, that's one of my things.
Yeah.
I'm working on having more of a sense of humor and just caring less. Yes. It's not a big deal.
If you turn all the things that give you that feeling, that like tightness in your chest, if you turn it all into humor, look at the funny side of it, everything becomes easy.
Totally.
This, as much as I would like her to take my fantasy advice, which I wouldn't do, so it's not really right for me to give the advice. Hit the mute button and laugh.
Yes.
That's it.
Enjoy. All right, Andy, that is a wrap for this Q&A. I liked this one. Good questions.
Yeah, good questions. It's always amazing to me that after all these Q&As, there are still questions. I feel like there are infinite questions. It's like a deck of cards, a 52 card deck of cards.
Yeah.
And let's say you shuffle that deck, right? So you shuffle it good, not like a 2-year-old shuffling.
Well, not like I shuffle.
Yeah, like 2 blocks.
I always wanted to be good at shuffling.
Shuffle, yeah, that's a good trick, doing that fancy shuffle.
Yeah. The one where they go like,
yeah, it's a flare. Yeah, that's a good one.
I can't do that.
I think most people can't do that. But anyway, shuffling a deck of cards, you think there's like a lot of variations. Like if you gave a deck of cards to 1 million people and they all shuffled it, you'd probably think that 1 or 2 times at least you'd have the same exact order of cards in the deck after the shuffle, right? With a 52 card
Very
deck?
unlikely.
How about 10 million people?
Okay.
But you think?
Very unlikely.
100 million people.
Okay.
What's the number?
I don't know.
How many people have to shuffle a deck where only one time is it exactly the same?
I don't know the answer.
Well, the answer is more atoms than there are in the universe. You could have every single person that has ever lived on Earth shuffling cards for every second for 1 trillion years, and not one time mathematically will there be one deck that is shuffled exactly the same.
Are you serious?
Yes. So my point is that we should, because human beings are such complex animals, they're way more complex than a deck of cards. Just 52 possibilities. There's 1 billion possibilities with humans.
Yes.
We should have more Q&A questions than there are atoms in the universe, by even more atoms in the multiverse.
Wow.
So we're going to have this podcast for a long time.
Good way to wrap, Andy.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed what you heard today, you know what we will ask of you, and that is to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow us on Instagram, and
TikTok,
leave us Apple and
Spotify
podcast ratings and reviews. Tell your friends, and generally do all the things you would do to support a podcast you enjoy. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you are submitting relationship questions, I have to do this because we're starting, a new year here. Remember length when you submit your relationship questions. Length is always an issue. It is literally the reason why many questions don't get chosen. So yeah, if you need guidelines, go to dearshandy.com.
And also privates.
Oh, yes. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, we forgot about that for like the last 2 months.
Yeah. Well, we are still doing Shandy off the record. So if you want to get the Shandy take, you want our advice, our opinion on something, maybe you were too shy to tell people in your lives, but you don't want to come on the podcast because you're also too shy for that. If you don't even want to be anonymous with an email, then you can write us at dearshandy@gmail.com and join us like on a Zoom call for, basically it's like a caller episode, but it's never being aired to the world. Okay.
All right.
With that, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Ruby.
Ready? Okay, this is what we're going to do. Test this.
Okay.
Sit here. I'm going to sit on the couch.
Oh, okay. Andy wants to test something where I sit on his red chair.
This was recommended by a Shandy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And sit off to the right side so she has room to jump on. Okay. You good?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to do this.
What?
Oh, that's bad. Oh, sorry.
I can't believe it's because
Sorry.
you're the one that let her out. Next time we're going to experiment where you sit here, I'm sitting there.
You're right. You're right.
Okay, Ruby.
Okay, go to mommy.
Come on.
Go to mommy. Go ahead.
Come on.
Go ahead. Go to mommy.
Come on. Yes, come on. Come on.
Oh,
It's good.
yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Dear Shandy. Bye-bye.